Okay. Hi, everyone. Everyone hear me okay? Just give me 2 seconds. Oh, okay. Let me just send that. Okay. If there's anyone there, just and you can hear me okay, just go ahead and say something in the chat there. I'll wait a few minutes for people to just get on. The announcement's out there, so hope everyone's doing all right today. Okay. So, not too many people today. That's okay. I'm sure a lot of people will watch later. Let me just disable some notifications so it doesn't annoy me. Okay. All right, well, I'll just get going. Not many people today, I guess, but that's okay. All right, thank you for the sound. All right, so I just wanted to touch base just on the Elrond Proof of Stake economy and just where Helios is at currently. So we'll do some housekeeping items as usual at first, and then I'll just talk a bit and then answer any questions for anyone that is here. Okay, so first off, so I'm happy to report that today we had one of our better days. Yesterday we had 13 out of 26 nodes active. Tomorrow we'll have 16 out of 26, so we'll be even better for rewards tomorrow. So that's great. As you know, we only got all our nodes active as of the 15th of April, and it takes about 5 days for nodes to shuffle in. So we're kind of seeing that happen now. So that's really, really good. What else do we have going on today? We also have, I released another 500. We released another 500 e-gold about 2-3 minutes ago. I'm going to assume it's filled already, but it's going up really, really quick. It's crazy how fast the demand is out there. It's really, really awesome. I think with MEX and the MPAD and all that stuff, I think people are just trying to get their stake in as much as possible. So being able to give out just that little bit each day is good for the community and getting other people in and involved. It's crazy how fast it's going, though. The demand is just out of this world. So, yeah. Okay, so just in terms of the Elrond Proof of Stake economy and why I've decided to do this live stream today is just there's a lot of frustration out there. There's a lot of people. I get messages constantly every day. There's Twitter messages. There's other agencies that are getting a lot of this frustration, and people just not quite understanding how the Elrond economy actually works, or proof of stake for that matter. So I thought I'd just take a minute to explain it the best as I can and maybe answer some questions. Okay, so first off, foremost, Elrond Proof of Stake is not like yield farming. It's not like the stuff that you're used to doing where you stake your coins and you get real-time rewards or daily rewards that are fairly consistent. That's not how this works. The proof of stake economy works by having a set number of validators in consensus and only a certain amount running that day that actually earn rewards. So the APR that you actually see is spread out over an average amount of days, and every day you're going to see a different amount of rewards coming from every single agency. And because of the way the wait list got released, every agency's kind of in a bit of a different situation. There's some agencies out there who currently are still quite low, but are slowly climbing up. There's some up there that got in right away, so their rewards were good right away. So a lot of the frustration I've been hearing is, there's people who might have delegated to another agency who are getting really good rewards as advertised, and then then there was us, and we weren't doing so well for a while, and it was really frustrating and hard to explain. So basically right now, I just want to make sure that people understand that that nodes that shuffle into consensus only get to validate around half the time, maybe a bit more, and will only earn rewards about half the time. So right now we're starting to go into what I'd like to call kind of our little peak week. We have 16 out of our 26 nodes now today, so we're going to see another really high APR day tomorrow, and that's going to continue for a few days. And then we're going to dip a bit, and then we're gonna go up again. Like, our rewards are never going to be the exact same. And basically, what happens is there's 3,200 validators in total that can join consensus, but just over about 1,600 that will actually be validating transactions per day. And every single day there's shards. There's 400 validators per shard, and every single day only 80 new validators are allowed in, and they get picked at random. When you do get put in, you sit at a bottom of a wait list for about 5 days, sometimes 6. So you don't actually start earning any rewards on those validators for 4 or 5 days, six even. But when they do go in, you start earning really good rewards, and then those get passed down. So I know it's really frustrating and a bit more complex than what yield farming is. But that's just kind of the way proof of stake works, and it's been around before yield farming and before all this. So it's hard to go from seeing these yield farms and stuff, from earning really good rewards to consistent rewards, to then seeing a proof of stake economy at work where you only earn rewards when our nodes or our validators are processing transactions. And as I said, the good news is we have 26 nodes now that are eligible for consensus, and as they shuffle in, our rewards are going to get better. But I'm just warning you that you are going to see days where we have worse APR. Our rewards aren't going to be that great. Some days they're going to be really good. You're going to see that with other agencies as well. But the APR over the span of about 30 days will average out to the advertised APR, and over a year, most definitely. So yeah, I guess that's really all I wanted to say, and I just want to make sure that there's some more education out there and more people are understanding this concept. I think right now it's very, very important as a community that we step up and go out there and start educating people on exactly what they've gotten themselves into, and that they understand how this economy works. And you also have to understand, once the network grows, we'll start getting a cut of fees as well, and that will hopefully increase the APR. Now, it takes a lot of fees for that to really change, and a lot of transactions per second. But eventually, over time, we will start seeing better numbers. But that's maybe that's when DeFi releases. Maybe that's when the NFTs and ESDTs go live. Which today we had the mainnet release, and everyone, that's super awesome. So we have the ESDT tokens, NFTs, SFTs coming to Elrond. And the mainnet upgrade has now been done. 80% of all nodes have now been upgraded. So I think on the 28th, April 28th is when everything goes live. And yeah, we're going to start seeing just an avalanche of usage again, day in, day out. Okay, so I'm going to start answering some questions so that since we have one there. So Jacob, what is the current average APR for nodes? The average APR for nodes will vary from agency to agency. Right now, I believe we're at 16.7%, I believe, is what our APR will average out to. And that's dynamic. As we add nodes, as nodes enter into consensus, will always be fluctuating like that. But every agency's different. But I think most agencies are working towards allowing enough top up as the same as Elrond. Elrond right now has 700 e-gold per node top up. I think right now we're just a little over 500. And there's a lot of other agencies out there who are releasing tokens every day who are aiming to do the same thing. Right now, what's most important is that we let as many people in as possible to stake. We need to shift ourselves away from this APR discussion and always talking about, well, what's the APR and what's this? Because proof of stake is more about how much we lock up. The more we lock up, the more the price increases, the more scarcity gets out there. So it's good for everybody. And so, yeah, it's great to keep a nice high APR and sit there on the top of your throne making this great thing, but you're not really helping the network by not allowing other users in. The more staked, the better for the network, and that's what we're here for. I'm just going to say something a bit direct to anyone out there. If anyone doesn't like our APR, you're absolutely free to leave, because I think the people that we do have within our community understand more stake equals more scarcity, and letting more people in, being able to access this amazing financial product is more important. We're here for everyone. We're here for the community. And we're here for the network and the network security. The rewards we get are just a bonus for helping grow something that is really changing the world one day at a time. So, you're free to leave. It gets filled up right away. There's tons of people waiting. So just thought I'd say that as well. What else can we talk about? If there's anyone else who has any other questions, we don't have many people in here. I think a lot of people messaged me and said they couldn't be here due to work reasons or whatever. So, but at least I have a lot to say about this. And the more I get talking, the deeper down the rabbit hole I think I'm going to go. When do you plan to add more e-gold, and what is the schedule? Hey, Andrea. So yeah, we add e-gold every day at 1500 UTC, which was 15 minutes ago or so, or just before that. And we add 500 per day. And right now the schedule is to do that until we reach a 700 e-gold top up. Maybe we'll go more, maybe we'll go less. But 700 is kind of where Elrond is right now. And we believe we'll be doing exactly what they're doing. And as I said, a lot of other agencies are doing this as well. We're just going to slowly release our coins in order to allow our delegators to get in, to redelegate, and also to allow new users to come in around the same time every day. If you watch our announcements channel or our channel, you might be able to get some info on that. There's also a bot on Telegram, the Elrond delegation bot, that will tell you exactly when there's free space, when people are coming or going. So you just got to be quick. The space is filled. I just saw there, yeah, the space was filled. Yeah, all 500 have been taken. So that's just the way it is, I guess. So it is what it is. All right. If we have anyone else out there with any more questions, I mean, I can keep rambling, I guess, but I don't really have much more to say. I just want to be really clear that, this APR discussion that's going on out there, and people, getting frustrated. And I totally appreciate the reasons why you're frustrated. It's frustrating for me as well to explain it. And I don't in any way think what you're saying is invalid. We just need to start shifting our mindset from, how high our APR is to how much we got locked up. The amount staked is going up every single day. And the percentage, the more we get staked, the more the scarcity. There's not much left on exchanges. And, apart from the fact there was, a market-wide correction recently, the price is starting to reflect that. And as more gets locked up, the price is going to go up. So your APR and rewards are going to be worth that much more. Okay, let's see what we got here. We have another question. What's your opinion about the Elrond team, how they're managing the project from your point of view? I have the utmost respect for the Elrond team. These guys are absolute machines, and from being behind the scenes and seeing what's going on. And I mean, I don't get any real privileges at all. Other than that, I know when they're up, working 24 hours. Some of them are sleeping in the office to get this done. They are a true inspiration to me from both a development side of view and as well from the actual fairness that they're applying. I don't think the way that the way the demand came on all this staking, it blew everybody away. And it over that first weekend, there was many discussions being had between themselves, between validators, and within 3 days they came up with a solution and fixed a big issue that could have been a lot worse. They're very proactive. They don't see they don't see things the same way as other projects might, and they do what's right for the community. You can't really find too many other projects out there that are like that. You can tell that these guys are out to actually change the world, and that's why I'm here, and that's why a lot of other people are here, I think. So in general, yeah, I think sometimes, guys, and again, just be a bit direct, you got to cut them a bit of slack. These guys are building rocket ships, and they're building something that has never been built before from the ground up. And there's going to be bumps in the road, and like that's normal. If it was entirely perfect, I just think it was a simulation somehow, or we were just in the Matrix or something, like I don't, I'd be kind of worried if there were no bumps. Bumps in the road are great, but what's most importantly is the demand. The demand is huge. They're coming out with mechs. They're coming out with, the MPad and all this stuff. And it's just absolutely incredible stuff. And they're doing all this while also creating a proof of stake economy with validators in the background and stakers trying to make sure that we all get the best. Like, these guys are handling this absolutely beautiful. So thank you for that question, because that's definitely something that, I'm really passionate about, and I want to make sure that other people are too. Honestly, so the question here is, will the MEX and MPAD affect your relationship and direct competition with BNB? So it wouldn't be my relationship. You got to remember, I'm only a partner of Elrond. I'm not Elrond itself. So I guess, what is my opinion on how that'll affect it? I don't think it's going to affect it at all. You got to remember that Binance is actually, Elrond was an IEO project of Binance. Binance is actually very much involved with Elrond. They also have some nodes as well. And it's good for the entire network as a whole. Binance are huge and massive, but I really don't think any relationship there, in my opinion, is going to be hindered because they work so closely as it is. So straight answer, my opinion on that would be a no. Can you explain the whole concept of the upcoming events of MPAD ESD in terms of special explain to 6-year-old benefits compared to the entire market space? Sure. Okay, so MPAD, the way I see it, again, this is more, I guess, speculation and opinion. I've read all the docs and stuff, but until we see it running. But the most important thing is that the cost per transaction is going to be extremely low. It's going to be an extremely fair distribution. They're only going to be picking the best projects. They're not going to be like some of these other launch pads that are just throwing out project after project, and it's a pump and dump scheme. So I think what I've read is they'll slow release tokens. They'll ensure that tokens aren't just pump and dumped, and you see these big, massive, curves like you do that you might see on other launchpad products, and then some of them just never recover. You got the bots there just front running stuff, and I think they're building something that's going to try and defeat that. I think the most important part is that it's going to benefit long-term supporters and holders of MEX and of eGold, and we're all going to have a fair chance at incubating some really good projects. These guys, Elrond just don't sit there and pick random people or to work with and partners. They vet people. They're extremely smart people. So whoever they choose as their first project or their first projects, I can guarantee you they're going to be projects that are gonna blow our minds and actually make a difference. So I think just in general, the thing that excites me most is that alone, is having them now picking projects that they want to incubate, and us as a community will now have a chance to do so. I don't know if I'll ever use any other launch pads again after they launch. I don't really do too much of that anymore. But I mean, with Elrond, of course I'm going to, because Elrond's number one for me. I don't think there's any secret there. So yeah, good question, Rico. If there's any other questions, I'll do like a 1 minute countdown, I guess, and then I'll just shut it down. What else can I say in that time? All hoodies and t-shirts are gone. Elrond looks like crypto's Apple. Kind of like an Adam and Eve thing, I think you mean, or I'm not sure what you mean there, but maybe that it's just, you know, I just, crypto's Apple as in the company Apple. Yeah, maybe. The UX, the amount of time they put on user experience and adoption would be something that Apple would have done for sure. I think the way they're presenting their brand, the way they're building their apps, and the way everything is built is very user friendly, and is only going to get even better. So in terms of, is it crypto's Apple? Well, I hope so, because we've seen where Apple's gone, and by taking the approach that they took, it did well for them, and it was all user experience, and keeping things, you know, as streamlined as possible. So yeah, I think that's a good comparison. But again, I don't really want to compare them to anything, because they're Elrond. They'll just be straight up Elrond. We don't need to compare them to anything. They are Elrond. So let's just look at it that way. You know, they don't need to be crypto's this or crypto's that. Why can't they just be Elrond? And from now on, they're Elrond, you know? So let's try and shift that to there. If there's anybody else with any more questions, can go ahead with that. I think probably my next stream will be on the 1st of May, after the end of the month. At that time, I will also release our infrastructure fund wallet. For those of you who don't know what that is, we'll be giving 5% of all our rewards to a wallet until it all our commission earned, Helios commission earned. We're going to do 5% of that will go into a wallet until it reaches 500 e-gold, and then we'll actually just leave it there for a rainy day. So if a bear market comes and things get a bit rough and all that sort of stuff, we'll be able to pay for our infrastructure, maybe upgrade our infrastructure, or deal with any disaster recovery really quickly. Internally, we'll still be using our commissions to upgrade our infrastructures and that sort of stuff. But in case of a really deep bear market, and where things are getting really slim, which is always a possibility, we're going to have 500 e-gold there in a wallet ready to be used. So I'll release that info. We will release that info on that day, on May 1st, or probably the first Monday after the 1st. Let me just take a look how that month is going. April. Yeah, it's a Saturday, so it'll probably be May 3rd when we'll do it. And I'll just recap the month and where we're going next and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. If there's anybody else who has any other question, ask now or forever hold your peace. I'll start just going through everybody. Just thanks for everybody who showed up. H, the anonymous H, thank you. Jacob, Rico, Matt, Adria, Caro, TPK, Yi Yang 10. I hope I said that right. John, nice to see you. David, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to end here. Oh, last second. We got a last second question. Just last on the draw, David. Media exposure to Elrond is very low. Some people don't know the usability of eGold. That's it's okay, David. It's a good question. I'd actually challenge you on that. Like, I mean, the media exposure is actually pretty huge on Elrond. Like, it's really big. It hasn't been a lot the past maybe few weeks as we've been rolling out the delegation contract and all this work. It's been all hands on deck about the tech. But we've been on CNN right along Bitcoin guys, Forbes, Reuters, constantly being shown. I think what you're more talking about is more towards the awareness and maybe education that's out there. And I think now that a lot of our staking agencies, a lot of the community, we've all been working towards this phase 3 stuff, building our communities and stuff. And now that things are starting to calm down, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more education and a lot more people out there showing off their stuff. Part of the reason for this specific stream today was to try and educate the best I can on the Elrond PoS economy. I hope I did all right. It's really hard. It's a really hard concept. So I'll try more and more. Maybe I'll try and get it into some words and do a Medium post as well. And just keep trying to hammer home exactly what's going on. But in terms of the lower fees and all that, I mean, a lot of people out there know about it, and the media, the media is out there. And now that we have the ESDT, NFTs, and SFTs on their way, to be honest, I think the snowball of maybe a more mass adoption within crypto is going to happen. We already have huge adoption, and we're growing crazy quick. So, but yeah, maybe some more education and some more of that needs to happen. And I think some of us in the validating community will take lead on that. I'm working with a guy right now just on our content plan for the next few months. And if there's any suggestions on any videos you want me to see me do or anything like that, I'd love to hear it. Just let me know and I'll try and get them done. Okay, so an NFT is obviously it's like a single fungal token. And for the SFTs, the semi ones, they're more kind of what you would use in a like a seat at a concert or that sort of stuff. So like they're transferable a bit more. I'm not completely educated on the full difference, but an SFT can be used and reused and can be constantly used. Where as an NFT is more of a held asset that you would only really want to transfer every now and then, that provides you some kind of value. But a semi-fungal one would potentially be, concert tickets where you might want to transfer ownership, that sort of stuff. But I'm not super educated on that, just to be honest. I don't want to sit here and start telling you stuff without knowing. So there's been a lot going on, so I'm going to have to read up a bit more on that. So apologies on that one. But I do know the basics, as I just said. Okay, is there anything else out there before I shut it down? All right, so I'm going to end this conversation. I'll be sort of around in Telegram. I think Mark's around as well. Yeah, there he is. So he'll be around too to answer any questions. As I said, tomorrow is going to be our best day ever. We'll have 16 out of our 26 nodes active. They're active now. They're now processing transactions, earning us some rewards. So that's really exciting. So let's see how tomorrow goes. Just again, please be aware that it won't always be really high rewards every day. We'll have good and bad days, peak weeks and low weeks. And that's just the way it works. And that's the same for the whole protocol and for every agency out there. As always, if anyone has any questions, feel free to email, DM me. I answer every single one. It might take a bit, but I do. So just feel free. Okay. Talk to you later, guys, and be safe out there.